Welcome back, everybody. I'm here today presenting a new deck for you guys called Matron Control, something I've been playing around with for maybe about 2 years. I saw the idea originally on the MTG Salvation forums from a guy named Fran. I liked the way he was building. I tried it out a couple of times and ended up not liking it so much, changed it around quite a bit more, making it really my own. I eventually presented it to a fellow Pauper mage, Jason Moore. I know him very well from blackborder.com, where he posts articles once a month or twice a month. I'm not sure. Haven't been there in a little while, but he's also done stuff for MTGO Academy, if I'm not mistaken. And he really loved the idea. He took it and built something really, really great with it. That is what this build mostly is now. It's looking a lot more like his build, but I have made some significant changes to it since, most notably in the mana base. Now that there are good cards like Ash Barrens, I've been able to get rid of Prophetic Prism, which was being run before, and just going with the 23 lands. As you can see, if I go into the sort and go by color, you can see that there's really no splash color here. There's 15 blue, 10 black, 14 red, if you count the terminates here, and so it's a pretty evenly split tricolor deck. Grixis here. So the point being that the mana base needs to be really good here. So the Ash Barrens help a lot. From what I can see, I haven't really missed the Prophetic Prisms, and I've been able to replace them with a playset of Accumulated Knowledge instead. Jason was running the a couple copies of Think Twice instead, and I went for four copies of Preordain here. It's basically, when you come right down to it, it's basically just a very classic Grixis control deck. It has all the main pieces: the Flame Slashes, the Preordains, a little bit of Permission, lots of draw. The Chainer's Edict, I've replaced a few with War and Weirding, and we're about to find out why. Terminates, more draw, and of course the Muldrifters, and even a single late-game Gurmag Angler here. But I've made room for the Goblin Matron. Goblin Matron, one of the most flexible tutors in Pauper, and one that we don't see enough in Pauper, in my opinion. So essentially, you cast it for 3, it's a 1/1, but you get to search for any goblin card, and that means not just a creature, but any goblin card. And there are quite a few interesting ones out there. Essentially, she can go and search up a creature. Mog War Marshal is an excellent example of a great creature to fetch with a Goblin Matron. Sparksmith is another great constant removal spell. If you have no other goblins in play, you play the Goblin Matron and the Sparksmith. Suddenly it hits for 2 damage apiece. Really, really great removal spell. Tarfire. I've ended more games than I can count with this because people just don't see it coming. The Goblin Matron into Tarfire has really been a great way to end games. War and Weirding. An Edict effect that you can search up, that you can tutor for. Excellent card with the Goblin Matron. I ended up cutting some Chainer's Edict for 3 of these, and I think 3 is about the right number. I could see going down to 2, but I like having access to edicts whenever necessary. And finally, to finish off this tutor package, we have basically a really beefy Gravedigger. This War and Pilfers can return any creature card, so a Muldrifter or another Goblin Matron or a Sparksmith or anything, back to your hand. And if that return card is a goblin, unfortunately you can only return creatures, but if the return creature is a goblin, it gets haste. So I have 2 in here, and the main reason for that is because you can actually chain these into each other and get a 3/3 haste every turn if they remove it every time. So it actually makes for a very consistent threat to the board, having haste. So really, really great card with the Goblin Matron. All right, let's head over to the sideboard. We've got a couple negates here, nothing too special. Again, I copied more or less the sideboard from Jason, and I think it's pretty good. I've added a couple of my own touches here. Spreading Seas, great to hose on Tron or even fix my mana if I no not even or it can yeah, it really hoses cards if you need to, and it draws you a card. 4 copies of Duress. We'll get back to this stuff in life. Gurmag Angler, if ever we feel like we need some more beef. Electrickery gets the fairies and whatnot. And Nile Spellbomb gets the graveyard and draws you a card. I want to go back to Siphon Life here. I put this in because I've really needed something against Burn to help me in that matchup, and this helps very, very well. With the retraceability, you can gain quite a bit of life. It causes them quite a few problems, and yet it still allows us to be aggressive and is very useful against other control decks as well. So it's kind of a versatile card. I really am a big fan of all of the retrace spells out there. I got this idea from Pauper. If you haven't heard of that channel, it's a really great channel. I love seeing the Lexicop's builds here, so yeah, really great. That's also where I got the idea for the improved mana base. This is basically a copy of his mana base from the his Jeskai Trinket Mage build, and yeah, it's basically the same thing except instead of white, there's black. But other than that, yeah, that's the deck, guys. So I'm going to be playing this in the future. I hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll see you very soon.